Da 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 da. Persona.
Oh.
Yeah, we never actually got your song about
What was it? The neighborhood.
What part of Tokyo was it?
It was. Maybe I'll jog my memory. No.
I mean, it's you promised that so many episodes ago now, and we just never got it. It's unfortunate.
Well, maybe I'll look it up now. We can do this right now. But yeah,
I mean, God knows it's like we're gonna have some time before anything is gonna really be happening here. Despite the fact that we are supposed to be going immediately into the palace, it's like you always got that lead time where we talk about the basics of what the Phantom Thieves actually do. Even though we're able to skip that. We were able to skip that in the previous story arc. We have just rando people on the train still talking about it. Ah! Well,
okay.
Anyway.
So I'm looking at this. It's for Kichijoji, and
yes, that's right.
I don't.
Glad you wrote
none of these lyrics make any sense. I don't know what I must have been. First of all, that was 10 months ago. That was.
Holy Christ! Was it really 10 months?
That was July 2020. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it? Yeah, that was like No, you're right. You're right. That would be about the point because that was a new thing in the Royal and oh boy. Oh, the time abyss is getting to me right now. Persona 5 still is not even close to being over.
I mean,
well, at least we're doing for Sundays now, so at least that's something.
Yeah, we're starting to get a rhythm.
We would have if you weren't watching basketball. It's your favorite sport.
I like the way they dribble on the court.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So hey, great, we did it. We're just going to the palace. Oh, thank God.
I mean, I did find
if
this song here. I don't know if it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit with the rhythms at all. Let me just try it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hit me.
Self-contained, side quest based. Kichijoji is the play. No, see that doesn't work. Inokachira Park directly adjacent.
Yeah, that's like some
pancakes by watch live events. Manga coffee shops, old Buddhist temples, tiny bars, shotengai, yakitori, chicken's good. Thick pancakes, can't be beat. Get 'em in this side quest world. Can play some darts with your friend. Find villains whose arc is self-contained. And that's it.
Yeah, the old man side quest. I remember that one. My favorite target of the Phantom Thieves so far.
Old man side quest.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's like at least Minecraft parody song tier. Like if you get like an 11-year-old to sing it, you could probably get millions of views on YouTube.
Did you see that the Fortnite?
No, that's not true.
The Fortnite thing with American Boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I did several streams referencing where I sang most of it. Yes,
okay.
Chug Jug is what it's called. It's a Fortnite reference. Well, it's a Fortnite themed rendition of Estelle's American Boy.
Wow, yeah.
A song I really like.
And
it was weird to hear that come back in popular for a while.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, I did say that I wasn't going to be doing the Palace dialogue, but this one's so short that I just had to let it go. Good job, Futaba. You stared at it long enough until it started working. This is her role in the story now.
She's gonna shorthand all these things. By the way, just because we are too hypercritical, this is a pretty cool palace so far.
Oh, I actually spend a while looking around at the many stuff here, the many things here. Time is money.
I love these little even the little designs. You see those kind of geodesic
7-day work
spheres. What was that?
Oh yeah, no, this is all great.
Yeah.
I still think that it's they really knocked a lot of the design out of the park here.
Yeah. And again, kind of that lock aesthetic from the bank, from the the third palace. I mean, this looks really nice.
Virtual plants.
Holograms, yeah. And what is it? Okay, you can type it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. It's not actually anything of interest. Also, like,
Yeah.
look at the weird lighting in this place.
ooh.
Reminds you a lot of like the final blocks that you get from the Moon Lord in Terraria. That's the reference I'm going with, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's kind of like as textures, these are pretty quality. Like they clearly spent a lot of time on it, and just like it paid off.
I appreciate
And, like,
it.
Look at these weird ass villains.
Yep. I mean, I like the manager robot that has a milkshake for a head.
Uh huh. Like that is
Do
just
you
a
get-
wild piece. That is like a terrible thing. This feels like a David
mean-
Lynch like movie right now. It just
Oh, I thought you were talking about what they're talking about right now, as if we didn't fucking get it. Did you get it? If you didn't, here's an entire explanation cutscene. What could they possibly represent? Probably represent like the politicians of the upper councilman parliament, right?
we represent robots.
They represent robots. He's replacing all of his workforce with robots. The villain. Yeah, it's a good thing that you immediately shot down the whole suggestion to go and do this in the first place with, oh, maybe he's not actually evil. I'm making the jerk off motion right now. Want you to know that.
I mean, I just like that they're like, oh, he treats his workers like robots. That monster, and it's like just gesturing like at the entirety of the world as it is today, like billions of people. Yeah, okay. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too, where it's just like, Of course, they even say in this episode they're just like, there's a lot of people. Oh yeah, there's Okamura in the upper left corner, looking like I don't know, the really sketchy student with the eyeglasses like that. I'm guessing he's probably going to change once we see the real Shadow, much like Madarame did. Potato. That's going to be the thumbnail. It's got to be the potato.
This is a really like, it's almost like a Portal vibe to this whole area, like this whole palace.
The blue and white? Yeah.
I mean, really, just everything about it, just the icons, like just those. That looks like a screen in like the back rooms in at the end of Portal and Portal 2 when you're in like the decaying offices.
Yeah, the old laboratory.
Yes.
If you're wondering, every one of those holographic signs just says "work" in different transliterations.
Oh wow.
Hatarake means work. It's like, what else do I need to say? It looks like a gigantic hamburger bun, if I was going to take any sort of guess. Well, I hope you all enjoyed your time in Okamura's palace, as we are now going to be leaving.
And that's it, right? We've beaten Okamura.
Is this... You know that we always get the initial, like, you get 5 seconds walking into this place and then you leave. That's why I decide to look around an awful lot.
And, I mean, it just, like, yeah, again, just wild, like, area, and just honestly I wish we would just go into the palace. Like, this game would be so much better if we just didn't do these weird, like, throat clearing exercises every time we do anything interesting. Like,
despite the fact that we're not really following the whole predictions that I made so many moons ago, it's like there's still some things that remain very consistent. For example, the look, that's right, Rikaichan, you did it.
I love the animation. They clearly like put some thought. Like that was something they put effort into.
This is the weakest limp, and it's like, what do you expect?
What did you expect?
Steel door.
Like that wasn't even something like he's an athlete. He could have just like slammed himself in there, like taking a run and start or something. But no,
you half committed to. I love that. That's the sort of little character moments that this game needs more of. Hey, it's Haru.
Oh no! Like all the we all have to look at Haru because she's the new character.
There she is. Yeah. Yep.
Wait! Oh my God! It's the girl from the garden. Oh my God!
Thankfully, they actually do figure it out pretty quickly. Wouldn't that be interesting? No. She's a future party member. She would not be. Like, I didn't even believe for a second. I wouldn't even believe for a second that she was actually villainous in any way. Like, that's never a thing.
I just love that. Like This is such a weird scene. She's such an arbitrary party member, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, every party member is a very arbitrary party member.
Yeah, but
aside from
her,
Ryuji.
she's the most arbitrary, and that makes her special.
Yusuke's pretty arbitrary.
Yeah, he's pretty arbitrary.
Like, oh yeah. By the way, wasn't like Goro supposed to be in the palace with us or something? He was like looking at us before we got whatever. As we all know, the application just has a habit of pulling people into the metaverse who are plot relevant.
So I'm assuming Goro is going to be one of the party. He's a future party member for sure.
He is the last party member. I don't think we get any more after him.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like they make it any sort of like surprise or anything. Yeah, especially in the Royal. I talked about this before, but in the Royal, in the tutorial scene where you get like the full party member going through Nejima's palace, which I still think it's Nejima's palace, basically, instead of just not showing any of the usual Avatar things, they just show them very slightly grayed out. So it's like, yeah.
And also, here we get a great line here. It might not be right now, but yeah, you just kind of...
No, that's several scenes from now. I know the one you're talking about.
Okay.
Because we had big discussion in the pre-game dialogue that we had.
Yeah. Pre-game is when we
it's
get,
just like,
we get blackout drunk before we do any of these.
oh, if only. No, probably. Well, that'd be fun for an episode, but no. Look, we got blackout high once. Wink.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely happened.
I bought grasshoppers, so we can actually cook those up. I mean, I'll probably just do it myself.
not the mint and cream drink.
No, but we could put grasshopper salt on that. I don't know.
Salt?
Yeah, you can make salt from grasshoppers. I've been looking into it a little bit. Like there's mescal worms. You know, that you can get salt from them too. There's a lot of insects you can eat.
That's a thing. It's like if you burn like anything to a crisp, you can extract salt from it in one way or another.
Yeah.
It is like a rock, despite the fact that it's used in your body. It gets left over with the carbon.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, just like,
By the way, this is not going to be the thumbnail. It's going to be potato. I want to make that absolutely clear. So yeah, Haru is just doesn't have any idea what's going on. You might think that it's just like, hey, she's somebody completely separate from the team that seemingly had access to the metaverse. No.
Oh, so Morgana just helped her get in there.
I guess we find this out later, but whatever. I guess she just followed Morgana into the palace.
This is just really... I'm not like... I'm trying to like understand what's going on. This scene is just so poorly written. It's just like they're trying to introduce her and make her really interesting, so they're having her have this big.
No, they're just Morgana's just making her say stuff to make the other party members, basically to insult the other party members or make them jealous or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's just functional writing.
Yep. Perfunctory writing, as I said last time.
That's a good word. Arbitrary, perfunctory, contrived.
Yeah, well, that's Persona 5.
By the way, I like that we are developing, over the course of several episodes. Just we're developing our own new cliches and new ways to describe how we hate this. So in a way, I don't know.
We have to do a deep dive into like language to come up with new words because it's been 74 episodes.
Yeah, this is like Shakespeare. Shakespeare was just a podcaster.
Oh, that makes sense. Words like insipid we should probably be using more.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Have we said pointless an awful lot?
We probably
say that.
Probably pointless. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure that we can. Yeah, we'll have to come up with something.
We'll think of it. Yeah.
We'll call them dullards.
We'll have to find out like some German word.
Oh yeah. Or we could use like Japanese words. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that might be a thing.
I don't know. Like untranslatable Japanese words that describe the situation.
I wouldn't call them untranslatable.
Yeah, I just think they're neat.
I mean, God knows, it's just like, I should...
Continuing the potato theme of this episode. Like, we did potato,
Yes.
portal, to, and then Marge saying, I just think it's neat.
Yep, potato does sound like Portal, you're right. You crack the code.
Potato, there's a potato in Portal too.
I know, that's why I'm referencing it!
Oh, okay, sorry. You haven't played it.
Yeah!
You just know everything about it.
So? Yeah! That's true for a lot of games.
Yeah.
You know how much of my day is spent watching other people play video games, and then while also playing video games myself?
Yeah, while playing games for other people to watch, yes.
It's an Ouroboros.
Yes. Oh, there, that's a new word.
I don't know if we can apply that to Persona. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's like, why do you think I got into like the whole streaming thing? Because I'm just like, oh, I really want to be public. It's like, no, I've been watching this stuff since like 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are still people that I watched back in 2008 that I'm watching today.
Yeah.
Literally today.
I remember you were describing like streamer, or early Let's Players in like 2008, playing whatever, Metal Gear Solid or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I still watch their stuff. But like, yeah, back in 2008, it's like there were also a lot of Mario hack type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Still watching one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of those things, like, I don't know how much you actually talk about that, but you have, like, an encyclopedic knowledge of Mario game mechanics and modding.
I know a lot, at the very least, about Super Mario World. I really like the Mario games. I've played a lot of them, and I've also watched other people play a lot of them. Like, there's some very specific things that you only really notice after, like, people trying to create the hardest hack possible to make people angry at them. Like, are starting to exploit. It's a very magical world of game design where you don't actually have to create assets or like specific gameplay, but just tweak something that already exists.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video, like, there was like a half an hour long on like one optimization that speedrunners made. I think it was like to the level 4
probably a Summoning Salt sort of channel.
Well, there's a lot of YouTube channels that are like this, to be honest, at this point.
Oh, that's the guy that always goes through and does like a deep dive into the history of speedrunning specific games.
Yeah, I think one of the most messed up thing I've seen in the last 2 months was somebody who found that like there's a game where you can get like I think it was like some ridiculous thing like SpongeBob SquarePants, and then they found that if you get like oil, like your hand oil on the disc, like grease on the disc, you can get this specific hack, and it's just like and it's just like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, but I watched a 20-minute video about it and it was pretty compelling.
Yeah, I think I got that one recommended to me, didn't end up watching it. It was like a thumbnail of somebody squirting a ketchup bottle onto a CD. And it's like, I mean, God knows, speedrunning is such a it is such a strange and amazing sort of group of people that approach it.
Yes.
I mean, it's of course, like, everybody knows about like the Mario 64, like Pan and Cook videos, which he's not a speedrunner, but certainly that's very similar. I mean, it's stuff like, low percentage Twilight Princess runs that exploit stuff where you just have Link holding a rupee for 12 hours.
I think we've watched some of the same videos here, because
I watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of speedrunners.
Yeah, I think Ezreal, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm your
long time watcher.
I watched their like the Hollow Knight video that they did. Like, they did a speed run for Hollow Knight and they streamed it.
Yeah, it was like no attacking Fool's Arena, I think it was, that I saw of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this might have just been a full like 100% run. I don't know, but it was like a 6-hour thing, and I was watching it for like 2 hours, and it was like surprisingly hard to like stop watching.
So how many of my Hollow Knight videos have you watched?
I mean, I played it with you, if you'll recall.
Actually, that is true. We did do that stream that one time where we got really mad at each other.
Yeah.
Because I was salty over the video game. It's my fault. What can I say?
Well, I
Get
was
too much of that
backseating.
bug salt in me.
What is going on in this
fucking
game?
Oh, right.
Wait,
I knew I recognized that
Haru
forehead.
Okamura? Okamura, what is that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're doing the Madarame thing again.
I'm glad that it seems like they're just getting this over with pretty quickly, though. Like,
I'm happy about that, but it just also feels like, oh, so the reason that we got into the palace so quickly is so that we can get out of the palace and then do this Okamura thing now. Yeah, so she's the daughter of the guy. As it turns out, yo, why is she like going to this kind of like bad reputation school?
Yeah.
She's the daughter of like an internationally famous multi-millionaire CEO.
and we're just finding out now.
Yeah, and we also just find out right now. This is the first time that we even realize that, you know, especially it's like considering we were doing this whole thing. Like Okamura has been the talk of the town for quite a while now. It's like you'd think we know that his daughter goes to school.
And she's gardening, of course. Like, that's her character trait.
That's her thing. That and a big forehead.
Yeah. And that just
Also,
that kind of...
one of the things they were saying earlier was like they were going through hundreds of girls at the school. You ever get the feeling that there were hundreds of people that go to school?
You know, it really feels like there's like 70 people total. Like, maybe.
Yeah. Like you got like the main characters, which make up like roughly 10% of the population, and then everybody else are just those people that insult you whenever you get a question wrong in class.
Yeah, well, the thing is, those are always different people. Like, there's just a bunch of faceless hordes of NPCs.
God, it's just the Persona universe just feels so tiny. It's so cramped.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows it's just like, yeah, as it just turns out, the person that followed Morgana into the palace was the daughter of the person whose palace that was. Why? Whatever.
And it's very like
We don't know how else to write this.
It feels very sparse, like, and it is like this whole thing with like she's gardening, so I guess that's her trait, and it's clearly like, okay, that's how you're gonna set her up, and I don't have any investment in her. She's just a cipher.
I mean, also, it's just like she's introduced, and it's like even the characters were like, "Hey, is this that person that we've been hearing about throughout the entire game?" Nah.
Well, you know, it reminds me of like you know, Star Wars, like with Luke and Leia, you know, where it turns out they were brother and sister, right? Like that, or I guess the more obvious example, of course, Darth Vader turns out to be Luke's father. Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert. But this whole thing, like, that was only impactful because we'd been introduced to the characters separately. It wouldn't have been impactful if it turns out, oh, actually, Darth Vader, you know that evil guy we've heard about, you know, on the news. It turns out Darth Vader's your father. And you gotta
it turns out that Darth Vader's son also goes to your school on Tatooine.
Exactly.
Wait, what? Isn't he like a very high-ranking person in the Empire?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And or you know, like, okay, well, you know, actually Obi-Wan was Darth Vader's master or whatever. Like, that's why he's important. Like, no.
I mean, God knows, I do think that Star Wars does kind of have a problem with, like, there's like 5 important people in the entire galaxy.
Oh, yeah, it does. In fact, that's why I kind of thought of it. Is like, yeah, they kind of do that with, okay, you know, Palpatine is returning, and it's like, he's the most important person.
God, I forgot about that.
Anakin.
Oh, yeah, we also glossed over that one line that we were going to talk about, causing an unnecessary commotion among the public.
It's like, yeah, just like, that's you described that like there's a trope, apparently arbitrary skepticism in like TV.
Yeah,
and it's just like
the old there's really no reason at all that these guys don't want to work together. I mean, it's like they could have just, you know, leaned on the whole, like, yeah, well, Morgana said that you guys were all assholes, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Okamura, if you were wondering, it's just like, well, this time it's not Madarame was, yeah, Yusuke's surrogate dad or whatever. But it's like he wasn't actually related. Maybe, like, the actually related person might be a little bit more well-rounded. Nope, he speaks entirely in Villainese.
Also, he's just got this, like, really, like... I mean, you can just tell, like, he's got, like, a more... I just love, like, you can just tell who's going to be important by how much detail they put into their characters. Like, he's clearly got, like, a face that's a little bit differently shaped than other people.
It's been, speaking of, like, the whole, like, very sparse world, boy, like, we really have not been introduced to a whole lot of characters that are not people that are explicitly important to the current storyline, like either the villain or the current party member.
Yeah, like just social links at
for a
most.
while.
Like, it's a big deal when they introduce a new character.
Like, that didn't used to be the case back in, like, we got, like, the huge amount of characters introduced back in the Kamoshida arc, and then we got, like, Nakanohara, you remember in the Madarame arc, as well as Ichiko, even though they were both introduced super arbitrarily.
And they never,
then,
like, added up to anything. Maybe they just decided, like, instead of coming up with these new characters and then doing nothing with them, it would just be less embarrassing if they didn't even bother.
Yeah, it's like Kaneshiro had Ida. He appeared for one scene. Futaba has nobody. I don't think anybody else is going to...
Probably.
Actually, I think we got one more character appearing because I just talked about, like, Haru's in an arranged marriage or something. I don't know, whatever. For political gain.
We all agree on Okamura. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I mean, I agree, but it's just like, yeah, the Phantom Thieves, if there's one thing they're known for, it's swiftly and mercilessly taking down the most wanted criminals in the public side.
Yeah.
Certainly not, like, spending weeks like for people that have been doing things for years. And then, like, of course, it being somebody that, I don't know, a local mob boss in Tokyo, whatever. Yeah, he's the most important character. This is what they're known for. This is exactly what they're known for.
Honestly, like, this is an interesting dynamic where it's like, okay, apparently Morgana and Haru are going into the metaverse. That is at least, like, we've talked about this before. It's like, at least they're doing something. At least the characters are sort of like atoms. They're colliding into, other things, causing trouble for each other. That's what actual drama is. But, it's like, as opposed to this foreordained shit where, well, they're future party members, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that it seemed like they were making a lot of progress in the palace as well, but apparently they got stopped at the first gate or something.
Yeah.
Like, that did happen, so the fact that it seems like they might be doing something probably isn't the same thing as them actually doing something.
I can't believe it.
Also, like, it would have been like, what if we'd gone after, like, okay, we kind of always do this where we're kind of gaming out how they could have made it better. Well, okay, how about they go into the palace and, they find out that Haru and Morgana are already, they've already broken their way through, and you've got to get through the palace to find them. And they are actually, like, they've departed from you. They actually, Morgana is actually sick of your group. Like, he's sick of the way that you never do anything.
He didn't, sit there in the palace waiting for you to show up so that he could insult you.
Yeah. But it's just like, well, if he's in the first door, and then, what was the whole point of that? Like, what was the point of doing that, like, drip of content? Like,
I think this would have lasted longer, but also not been any better in the original version, because I remember this being a pretty infamous part where Morgana left your party for a while. And then they fixed that, or at least changed it in the Royal, but whatever. It's like, I can't imagine that it's any better, considering that was a part that people actually did criticize. Yeah, I mean, I do think there is something to be said about, like, yeah, do we really want to be the people who are just like, oh, no, writers, please, you did it bad. But I feel like for this game, I don't know.
Well, it's more like, honestly, we're more going after, like, critics. I mean, it's more like the fact that this game isn't like extremely mixed in terms of the writing. Like, it should at the very least not be universally praised. But there's enough here going on. This is worse than the new Star Wars movie that everyone hates.
I mean, I would never do this with any other game. I don't know what it is about Persona 5. Well, it's just the fact that it's so incredibly long and crappy.
It's crappy.
It's any other game, I would not be this critical of the writing. It's like I would be like, you know what, whatever. It's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes there can be like some weird stuff in writing. Sometimes there's like, I even say this with like with Dead Cells. It's just like I just want the developers to do what they're doing, and I just get to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Persona.
It's become a barrier to experience.
Yep.